Hi, I'm Natalie Ledwell, and this is the Inspiration Show. And today, my special guest is Micaela Passeri. How are you, Micaela?
I'm well. How are you?
I am absolutely fantastic, thank you. Now, I have you here today because you have a very inspiring story to share, and you're working on a really amazing project that I wanted to share with all of our community. So, why don't we start a little, first of all, with your story and your background and how you got into what it is that you do?
Oh, yes. So I am an inspirational fashion designer, and what that means is that I actually put inspirational messages and mainly love messages on clothes. And I've been a designer for over 20 years. I was born and raised in Florence, Italy, and I started out manufacturing leather handbags in Florence and bringing them to America. But at about the age of 32, I had a wonderful, beautiful baby girl, and that's when my world shifted, right? In many ways. One of it is in my work, and specifically, that's when I shifted from just creating a product, which was a handbag, to something that could actually contribute to the world that my daughter was going to be growing up in. And that was really my first motivation was to really do something so that my daughter would grow up in a world that I would want her to grow up in, and would support her in her development. And so what happened is that when she was about 4 years old, we were walking. I live in Los Angeles now, and we were walking down the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, and I saw this beautiful, beautiful blonde girl, and she was sporting this T-shirt that had a really disempowering message. And as a woman, and specifically a new mother, I just thought to myself, wow, why would somebody do that? And the message was something like, I'm cuter than you, and I'm going to steal your boyfriend, something to that effect. And I just thought, she's so beautiful. Why does she need to do that? And my first thought was like, oh, somebody needs to put some inspiring and positive messages on these clothes, not these kind of disempowering ones. And that's when the light bulb kind of went on for me, because I said, wait a minute, you know how to design, you know how to manufacture, you can produce that product. And that's kind of how the journey started for me, and it's taken a really different aspect since then. And so instead of just a product, the shirts that I design are really tools. They're tools for personal transformation and inspiration and empowerment. And that's kind of leads us to the project that's going on right now.
Right. So share with us some of the, because I agree with you. I see young girls that walk around with and they think it's kind of funny and cool or whatever, but it's really not. It's like having a role model like Paris Hilton or the bloody Kardashians. Don't even get me started. But so what are some of the messages that you put on your clothing that you find are more empowering?
Well, actually the first message that I designed and that is still going on strong right now and that is leading my campaign at the moment is I love who I am. And that is really actually kind of the intrinsic message to my clothing line, because it's all about loving and accepting who it is that you are from the inside out. And that actually ended up being my journey. So when I first got the idea of creating this line, it was really from a place of my own self-discovery and my own coming into my understanding and valuing my worth and loving and accepting all parts of me. And the reason is I see that so many of us women, we kind of feed into a lot of the societal stuff that we're fed, whether, we see it in the media, you have to, be this tall, this skinny, this color, this successful. So it's, society feeds us a lot of things that we think we need to be and do and follow, but in reality, it takes us away from really our core and who we truly are. And so obviously, I was a victim of that as well. I grew up in a culture that was very male-oriented, and women were kind of oppressed and suppressed, and I experienced a lot of that. And so my self-esteem and my self-worth was pretty much non-existent. And I didn't realize it at the time, but when I designed the I Love Who I Am t-shirt, it was really my own cathartic process. And the journey to self-worth and self-love and self-acceptance and building my own confidence was really what kind of instilled it. And then I noticed that a lot of the women that I was interacting with were kind of experiencing the same thing. So it's really just about taking that message, whether it's I love who I am, whether it's another t-shirt is love has no boundaries, got love, just kind of simple little messages that just make you think a little bit, you know?
Yeah. No, even the, I love who I am. Like, I know that they are words, and I know that we're talking about t-shirts here, but to actually empower yourself to wear that out in public and really stand for that and really step into, I really do love who I am. I mean, all of us, every woman on the planet, myself included, we have moments where it's just like we look at ourselves and we pick out all the things, all the flaws, all the things that we don't like about ourselves, and not just physically, but mentally. I mean, sometimes we talk to ourselves in our heads worse than we would ever talk to another human being on the planet.
We're our own worst critics, really. I know I am.
Absolutely, I'm my own worst critic as well.
Right. So I think that's part of our humanity, but I think that that's also what comes with is bringing. So in accepting who we are, we can also bring self-forgiveness, self-compassion. So I can speak from my own journey. When I moved to this country, I was 20 years old, and a year into living here, my father died in a horrible car accident in Bulgaria, and my world just shattered. And that's when really, to create a sense of protection for myself and to numb the pain, I created the bitch. Can I say that? The BITCH.
Yeah.
So she was born in 1992 when my father died. And obviously in that moment and in the years following, I didn't know that's what had happened, right? But I was living that part of myself. And after a few years, I realized, wait a minute, who is this person? Who am I? Why am I? This isn't who I am. And so as I started to do my own self-discovery period and personal work, I realized, wait a minute, she's part of me. I went from like, oh, I don't like it, I hate myself when I'm that way, to wait a minute, she actually was there to protect me. So bringing compassion to that side of myself instead of bringing hatred and say, oh, I don't want that, I don't like that, ooh, and having all the negative thoughts around that side of yourself, I finally, years later, was like, wait a minute, I love her. I love that part of myself because she came out to protect me and to protect me from pain and to really help me survive that really terrifying and sad and hurtful period of my life. So when I was able to bring that compassion, then things started loosening up, things started shifting. She didn't have to come out as often anymore. So just things like that is looking at those parts of ourselves, not only physically, but also internally, and bringing compassion and love and forgiveness. And that's all part of loving who we are and accepting ourselves in that manner,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think all of us have a certain program or a certain behavior that we step into when to protect us from hurt. Maybe there is a certain, coping mechanism we picked up as a child, and we don't realize until we're kind of in that situation as an adult, whether it be the breakdown of a marriage or whether it be the death of a parent or whatever that is, we kind of step into that not realizing that that's what we're doing, but all it's doing is to protect us. And I think when we become aware of it, we can choose, whether we step into that or not, because, it's not like you said, we need to love the bitch. We need to love the person that helps that persona that helps us to get through that, and then we get to choose when that persona comes out. So, let's start talking about the project as well. Like, what are you working on now?
So what I'm working on right now is a campaign around the I Love Who I Am t-shirt. and it's 1 million I Love Who I Am t-shirts for 1 million women. And so the goal is really to empower women to stand in their confidence, empower women to accept who they are as they are, flaws and imperfections and all, through a simple tool that we can wear on a regular basis. I mean, we're going to wear something, so we might as well wear something that makes us feel good and inspires us and empower us. And so it's basically, you know, there to support every woman in their journey, wherever they're at, wherever they are. It's perfect because the universe is always in perfect order. So, but the tool kind of meets you there. So wherever you're at, you can use that to remind yourself on a daily basis, anchor yourself, bring yourself kind of back to that. Oh, wait a minute, let me be compassionate with myself today, you know. When you notice those negative thoughts, like we said, you know, the critic, oh, it's like, okay, wait a minute, you know, bringing yourself back to the awareness of, hey, you know, you're doing the best that you can with what you know. That's your humanity, and you can love and accept who you are no matter what. And yeah, so it's really exciting. We've have several women that have already joined the campaign, and it's spreading. We actually had our first international order to Switzerland 2 days ago, so it's really exciting.
Cool. So so how can women get involved with this? You know, what is the project about? Is it about, you know, buying a t-shirt? Are we joining a group? Is there a website that we can go to?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is basically about purchasing a t-shirt. So you would go to the website. You can go to ilovewhoiam.tshirt.com and purchase a t-shirt there. And we ask women to share their pictures with us on social media, on our Facebook page, which is I Love Who I Am T on Facebook, and to share their stories, their aha moments, their maybe reservations. I mean, we've had a lot of women that, you know, would feel connected to the t-shirt and the message, but then I'd get messages like, oh, I bought your t-shirt like 2-3 weeks ago, but I can't wear it. I'm scared to wear it because I've realized that I don't love myself, so I feel like a fraud. Or women that will, you know, wear the shirt and say, oh, you know, I had this aha moment. I realized that when I do this, this is when I sabotage myself. Or so it's really just about having the t-shirt as a tool, and it's going to work itself differently for each woman, you know, in their journey.
Yeah.
So again, the website is ilovewhoiamtshirt.com.
Yeah. So I know my t-shirt's coming soon, right, Micaela?
Yes, it is actually. We need to schedule your photo shoot next week because they're in. So.
Well, look, for people that are part of the My Movies community and part of the Inspiration Show community, I really encourage you to explore this, to jump online and grab a t-shirt. You know, even if you're wearing it underneath another shirt or something to begin with, but to really step into that, because this is a conversation I seem to be having more and more often at the moment, about, you know, really stepping into this awareness of who we really are. You know, getting back to, you know, like everything that we need is really inside of us, and loving that part and loving the, you know, the vehicle in which carries that is really such an important journey, because really it's the basis and foundation of everything. When we can love ourselves and operate from that paradigm of love, or that program of love, then it permeates everything that we do in our life. So tell me some of the awesome, you know, feedback and women that you've met through the project so far.
Oh, wow. Let's see. I'll start with actually one that I just had a conversation with yesterday, which is this lady in Switzerland who, you know, she is having a really tough time just stepping into her power, and she felt connected to the message because she's been wanting to find that voice within herself. And so it's anywhere from a woman like that to maybe even children, teenagers. I've had quite a few teenagers come on board and just, for them it's more about standing for the love as they grow up, but not only, but standing also, there's a lot of bullying and a lot of things that are going on in school. So it's, I had one little girl, she's 12, that was like, this is really going to help me find that courage when I'm confronted at school. So it's really from kind of all ages, from 8 to 58, and beyond, and all walks of life, from professional women to teachers to stay-at-home moms. So it's kind of the gamut.
Yeah, cool. That's so awesome, Micaela. I'm so glad that you joined me today and was able to share this message. And like I said, as soon as I get my T-shirt, I will be posting my photo online as well. And I'm truly behind, this work and the love that you're spreading throughout the world, because I think it's a message that's really, its time has come. It's time for us to really step into this. So thanks again for joining me, Micaela. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for joining as well, the campaign. So thank you very much, and we'll chat offline for our date next week.
So guys, look, I encourage you to share this video. You can do that by clicking the Facebook and the Twitter share buttons on this page. Also, make sure that you download the app if you haven't done so already, so you can watch the shows on the go. You don't have to be in front of your computer anymore. And make sure that you leave your name in the box on this page so I can send you the Manifesting with the Masters video e-course. It's actually valued at $87, and I would love to send it to you for free. So until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. We'll see you soon.
Bye. Thank you.